Okay, so today is day 6, and I know I should have posted this yesterday, but it just wasn't feeling aligned. My energy wasn't its best, and I want to make sure that I'm showing up for you guys with the best possible energy behind the call. So today I'm talking about a really amazing topic, and it is aligned action. Now, this is obviously arguably one of the most important steps, but this is a step that cannot be done without all of the work that you've done before this part, because you're just not going to get the inspired action. You're not going to get the downloads. You're not going to know which way to move for your quickest, most aligned, perfect path for you if you haven't done some of that work to kind of like decondition, if you haven't done some of that work to remove those limiting beliefs. So I'm going to explain to you what the difference is between action, like force, hustle, pushing, and aligned action, and why we need to follow it. Like, what's the difference? So I want to just recap what the process is now. So you have this process moving forward, and what I'll do is I'll post this in the group as well, so you've got it to always refer back to, of what to do when you're going for a goal, a manifestation, whatever it might be, because obviously your goals are going to change, things are going to come up. You might need just to get back into alignment and you're not sure what to do, how to get back there. So your first step is to decide what it is that you want to manifest. Then you're going to list out all the limiting beliefs. Now, as you know, my favorite way to do this is to mark yourself out of 10 on each of the points that I mentioned in one of the other videos. And that really helps me to identify what's going on in my mind. Then neutralize the feelings that are coming up by using your tools, which could be shaking, rage dancing, breathing, meditating, EFT tapping. I list them all for you. And then replace those limiting beliefs with positive, more empowering beliefs. So you're basically going to start telling yourself a new story. You're going to take yourself out of being a victim to an empowered space of, I decide this now for my life instead, and I choose this belief instead. And you're going to embody the version of you who already has it. So who are you showing up as? How are you getting dressed? How are you walking? How are you talking? What kind of things are you saying and thinking each day as part of this version of you who now makes £5,000 a month? You know, how do they talk differently, walk differently? That was all in the previous video. And then you're going to release the how. So take all of the detail out of it. It is not down to you to know the exact steps to get you from A to be. And I'm going to share that in a moment. And you're going to take inspired action to help you get there in the fastest, quickest, most aligned way possible for you. So your part of the process, because we are co-creating with the universe, is to know what you want and why you want it. So what do you want? Just write it down again. We spoke about this as the intention at the beginning of the 7 days, or you might have chosen something more long term. Maybe it's £5,000 a month, maybe it's £500 this week. So what do you want and why do you want it? Again, I spoke about this, like money loves direction, money loves to be wanted and to be desired, and money loves fun. So try and make these things feel as fun as possible, as joyful as possible, because that's where money wants to be. It wants to be a really loving space. So we need to give it some direction of, where are we putting it? Why do we want this money? Why do we want this goal, this recognition, this relationship? Why do you want it? What feelings are coming up? And then, oh, sorry. Honestly, I yawn every time on these videos. And basically, they say when you yawn, you're releasing something. So I feel like you guys are really helping me to manifest on these calls. So this is your current location. I did get this graphic for Manifestation Babe. Just want to make sure I'm always crediting back to where these amazing parts are from. And this is your desired location, which is your money goal, your relationship goal, whatever you wrote down as your intention. And then your path to get there, you're not marking out each path based on logic. It's your intuition that you tap into that is how you get from this position to this position. It is your intuition, it is your aligned action, it's your guided action that's going to get you there. And it's going to get you there the fastest way possible. Now, when you try and copy somebody else, so you see some other influencer and she's doing X, Y, and Z and she's having success, you're then going down this path, trying to get to your destination, going down this other way. It's taking you completely off-road, gonna hit, honestly, something is being released. You're going completely off-road, hitting loads of roadblocks, going around the houses, and maybe one day you'll get here. I don't know, but it could take 10 times as long. The thing with intuition and the thing with aligned action, it's going to get you there the fastest, most aligned way for you. That's why your path for you is so unique. So then the universe's job, or God or creator or whatever you want to call it, I think it's all the same thing, is responsible for the how, the when, and the who. They're going to put people into your life that are going to help with the unfolding. You don't know who they are, what they're going to say or do to help you and guide you. And if you're specific or non-specific in human design, this can really help you. I'm going to do some more on human design in one of the other videos, like a bonus. But if you do have access, it will tell you in there in the app, in my human design app, it will tell you if you are specific or non-specific. And it just really helps you with goal setting. It really helps you with visualization. I'm specific. So I really do enjoy being like, I'm going to make £5,000 for my Nu Skin business. I'm going to manifest £3,000 from here. Like, I really enjoy like trying to work out those kind of bits. But then if you're non-specific, you're going to really just enjoy the feeling and knowing that you want something and knowing that you want this kind of car and these kind of things. So you can know those things, but then let the universe surprise you with all the other amazing, exciting things. Like, you might know you want a certain type of car, but let the universe surprise you with something even better, right? But these things can be really useful in here. And then remember that there are infinite ways that the universe can bring this desire to you. The thing is, with our logical brain, with our conscious brain, we can only conceive maybe 2 or 3 ideas as to how the money might come to us through certain businesses or whatever. But the universe is infinite. There's infinite resource, infinite energy. And so it's infinite ways as the money could come to you, infinite ways the business can expand for you, infinite ways that clients can come to you. We can only see so much because we're just looking at this from like a 3D reality perspective, and we're just looking at what is already real and already happening around us, and we're like, well, maybe we can do it the way she's did it. Maybe I can kind of have like a big following on Instagram, or maybe I could do it on email marketing. But honestly, like, you can't even comprehend what the fastest possible way is for you. That's down to the universe, to God, to like show you and point you in direction, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, because you are the universe, you're all one, it's all the same thing. But it's just kind of like this higher consciousness that has the quickest, most aligned way. And that often is your higher self, universe, God, whatever you want to call it. So allow that to come up. Allow yourself to be guided. Isn't that easier? Isn't that easier than you trying to figure it out? We're not here to try and figure it out. We already know the best way. Our job is just to be brave enough to listen. And the thing with surrender, and this can be a tough thing to kind of comprehend and a tough thing to do, to really surrender and let go. But the minute you're able to stop waiting and to stop worrying and come out of this, like I told you, I think it was in the last video, this vibration of waiting, you're always going to be waiting, right? So we need to get into this feeling of knowing and trusting. And when you trust in the universe, you trust in yourself, you trust in being guided, you trust that you've always been taken care of, everything's going to work out for you, because that is you surrendering. That's you putting your hands up and be like, right, I take my hands off the fucking wheel. Like, I'm done trying so hard, and I'm willing to be guided the fastest possible way. I'm done going down somebody else's path. I'm done trying to be somebody else, trying to copy somebody else. I'm willing to see what is my next best step. And I understand that's unique for me, because everyone's going to have a completely different next step. And like I said, it's almost this, it's a vibration, it's a feeling of knowing it's already done. That is a completely different feeling and vibration of waiting and trying. So this is what we're always wanting to come back to. This is why we do the tapping, the nervous system regulation. This is why we do this work. And like, you'll see me constantly listening to podcasts, audiobooks, reading, journaling. I'm redoing the MBA course. I'm redoing a course I did with Michaela J, because I need to constantly remind myself of this, because I'm still deconditioning. I'm not perfect. There are so many parts of me that are not on autopilot yet that I would love them to be, right? I would love to have new beliefs that are on autopilot, but they take a bit of practice for that connection within my brain to become solid. So I have to keep reminding myself, I'm creator, I'm universe. I keep having challenges and things knock me sideways, and I have to, like, it feels like I'm starting again, but you're not, because you're starting with all this knowledge. But I also have lessons that I'm facing. And so I just have to keep reminding myself for now, because eventually these things will become normal. They'll become my new normal. And that's super exciting to me. So some signs that your manifestation is on its way. And this will just help you to kind of like notice, okay, am I in alignment? Are things working out for me? If not, what can I do to get back into alignment? And then you do the steps I spoke about on the first slide, right? So these are signs that it's on its way. You're in alignment, you're in flow. So you feel like it's already done. You really feel like in that vibration, like you're so able to let go of the outcome and the expectations. And you're like, you know what? Whatever happens, I know that it's already done. It's already in my timeline. I know that it's coming. You're going to start to see signs. So you might ask for a sign, actually. Like, mine is a diamond, because for the longest time in Nu Skin, I was looking for it. I wanted to be diamond, and I would see them all the time leading up to hitting diamond. And now I've just kind of kept it as like my personal little thing that tells me I'm in alignment, because I just love it. And it's quite unique, and it's quite unusual that you actually see that. Whereas like butterflies, I feel like I see them all the time. Flowers you might see all the time, whereas diamonds, it's rare that I see them, and they can come in different shapes, sizes, forms. It could be the word diamond. That's my sign that I'm in alignment. And angel numbers like 1111, like 1414. And it's just a reminder that you're on the right path. And you feel a lot less stressed when you think about it. If you're thinking about your desire and you're still in this really stage of like wanting and you're desperate for it, and rather than just thinking about how good it would feel, you're thinking about the lack of it in your life, you're out of alignment. So you're going to feel less and less stressed when you start to think about this goal that you're going after. That's when you know you're in alignment. And you'll start to have like stepping stone manifestations on the way there. So you're starting to manifest some money. It's not what you asked for, but you're on the way. And this is where you can get clearer and clearer with the universe. And you can be like, oh, I do really appreciate the opportunity to do that job, but that's really not what I meant. What I meant is I wanted this kind of job. And you can say no to the thing that isn't what you wanted, and you can say yes to the next thing. But this is a sign that you're on your way. And you get to be clearer and clearer each time. You're in control. Don't feel like you have to say yes because you're like, oh God, what if it doesn't get any better than this? It always gets better. Always. And then you see other people manifesting, and even more so, you might see them manifesting what you want. So you might start to see other people getting the money you want, or the relationships you want, or the house that you want, or the car that you want. This is an amazing sign that yours is on the way. And even better if you can find a way to be happy for them, knowing that yours is coming. And you're in a state of flow. You're just like, boom, idea, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. You're just feeling so calm and like you're just like flowing through life. Like that's a really good sign that you're in alignment. Okay, so what is inspired action? And it's basically the last step. Like I said in the first slide, it's the law of action. We have to meet the universe at the manifestation, right? Remember, once you put it out into the world, it's already there, it's done, it's just sat there. And now it's waiting for you to meet it. And you do that with aligned action. And you don't know which action step leads you to the manifestation or your desire until you have the desire and then you look back. So do you remember I said in one of the calls where I had filled in a form and then got that money in my bank? Okay, I didn't know filling in the form would give me the money. I didn't know. I just knew that I had to do it because it was late. But then I saw the money in my account and then I was like, oh, that was the form that I did. But I didn't fill in the form thinking this is going to make me money. And then the money came, right? And that's the funny thing with aligned action. It's not always logical. And your brain and your conscious mind is going to be like, that's a waste of time. No, nobody else is building the business like that. Nobody else is saying that on Instagram. Like, are you sure that's right? It's going to really try and talk you out of it. And that's always a very good sign that it's aligned action. When your mind is trying to talk you out of it, that's normally a sign that you should do the thing, honestly. And this is where faith is needed. You're going to have to really trust in yourself, trust in the universe, that this is the right action for you to take right now, because it is always the fastest way to your desires. So if you ignore this, then, and you try and do something else through logic, you're just wasting your time. You're wasting so much time because you're going to be back here again in 3 months' time trying to take aligned action again. Like, just follow the thing that seems fucking crazy because it's the fastest way. And it's direct communication with your soul, with the universe, with your higher self. Like, that intuition, that inspired action is that voice from the universe, from your soul, from your higher self telling you what to do. So you're in direct communication with it. So you have to learn to listen, and don't ever give up on your manifestation, because it might be the last second before the deadline of what you gave is when it turns up. But if you say you had a goal for something over the next 7 days and it gets to like day 6.5 and it's like really late in the evening, you're like, wow, it's not coming now, is it? I knew this wouldn't work. What if it comes in the last possible second? What if it comes on day 8? You're going to be pissed it didn't come on day 7? No, you don't always know the exact timeline of how things are going to happen. So you just have to trust that it's coming. And who cares if it comes on day 10, day 20, right? You're not going to be pissed because it's still money that turns up in your bank. So let's say you're manifesting 5 grand and it came next month and not this month. You're going to be angry? No, you'll be so grateful. So we have to be in that energy now. You can't be like, oh, well, fuck's sake, fuck you, universe. You said you were coming and you're not coming. But again, how we spoke about your relationship with money is a relationship. Just like your relationship with your friend or your family member, that's not how you would treat them. So it's not how you would treat money. Like your intuition, it looks like, so your intuition is basically what's telling you to do aligned action. And it looks like a pull, a nudge. It could be a hunch, an insight, an opening, impulse, a calling, a compulsion, a download you receive, so like a random idea in the shower, an inner voice telling you to go in a certain direction, a surge of energy exciting you about something. It could be a gut instinct. It could be a friend of a friend telling you something they heard, like you just don't know how it's going to come in, and you're going to start to recognize it. The more and the more you listen, the louder it's going to get. But the thing with this is you must take action on it. If you are constantly ignoring your intuition, it's going to get quieter and quieter. It's going to get harder to recognize because the ego is going to get louder. And we're so used to listening to the ego and taking direction from the ego that it sounds the loudest right now. And I'm going to tell you how you can differentiate like what is ego, action, and voice and everything, and what is intuition and aligned action. But this is where you've got to have some trust. You've got to just do the damn thing. Like, even if you just say to yourself, like, for the next 7 days, I'll listen. For the next 7 days, I will take action on the things that you tell me to do, and I promise I won't question it. Try it. See what happens. See what manifests. Like, use this as an experiment. Experiment, because what's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is nothing changes. The best thing that can happen is everything changes. So just try this, okay? Just trust me and try this. And I wanted to give you some ideas of what it might look like. Again, this is taken from Manifestation Babe, but I wanted to give you some ideas of what this might look like or sound like when it's inspired action. So you can kind of look out for these things that come up. And it's things like, I don't know why, but I just feel like I need to do this. I felt that way about Nu Skin when it first came into my life. I couldn't explain to you why. I just knew this was the business for me. Sneezing, yawning, what's going on? For some reason, I just feel pulled to go in this direction. I get this a lot, and I was getting really bad at ignoring it. So it's really random things. Like, it could be really small things where I'd be like, oh, I must grab my phone charger, or I must grab my laptop charger before I go out. Then I'm like, nah, I've got full battery. And then I get there and I haven't, and I needed my charger, and I always forget it. Or it could be like not wanting to go somewhere, not being able to explain it, and then it's because something bad happens. Or like, I'm trying to think that most of them are so silly at the minute, but that's because I'm just really practicing listening. Aligned action isn't always this big thing that's going to change your life. It could just be something really small. But why not always just follow the best route, the least painful route, right? I just know this is going to work out. Again, I feel that way about Nu Skin. I'm feeling lit up by this, and I feel like I'm supposed to do this. I feel inspired to choose something different today instead of my usual choice. This just feels expansive to me right now, and my gut says yes or no. That's very much like a generator thing. It's in your human design. If you've got like a gut instinct, it's like an aha or a nuh-uh. That's really good, and that's normally very quick, in the moment. Whereas some people do need to like ruminate on a few decisions and like have a think about it and see what emotions come up before they make a decision. But again, I'm going to go through that in your human design. That'll really help. But for me, and how I'm getting better at this, identifying, is when I have an idea. So for example, the other day, I had the idea to go live on my Instagram and talk about this 7 days to success. And the first idea was, let's go live. Then what came up after that was a lot of fear. And it was fear like, no one's online right now. No one's really engaging with your stuff. Who's interested? You don't know enough to be talking about manifestation. You're not a coach, so why should you be doing this? No one's going to be interested in it anyway. You should be charging for this. Why are you doing it for free? All the coaches say that you should charge for these things. Can you hear how it's all fear, doubt, negativity? That's my ego. And then what was the thoughts that came up about doing the live? It was neutral. There was no thoughts. There was absolutely nothing. It was, maybe I should go live. And what came up straight away afterwards was fear. So that's how I knew it was aligned action. So you know what, I'm not going to listen to all the fear that came up afterwards. I'm going to just listen to the part of me that was neutral, that was, let's go live. So I did it. Now, I want to give you another example of how it could be the opposite, how the thing that I'm thinking about could be fear. So I am scrolling on social media and I come across an influencer who does Nu Skin like I do. And they are an influencer and they've got a big following. Now I see that they are talking a certain way about a product. They're showing up constantly. Maybe they're doing certain kind of demos, doing certain kind of ways they're selling the product. Then I look at that and I think, oh my God, she's doing so much. Oh my God, she's such a big influencer. God, I really should be posting more often. Maybe I should be doing reels like her. Maybe I should do the same text that she's doing. Maybe I should also order that product and sell the same product as her. Oh, I see that she's doing this in her stories and she's in her bathroom doing it that way. Oh, and she's wearing this top. So now I'm going to go away and I'm going to do more reels. I'm going to wear the same clothes as her, and I'm going to start promoting this product. I'm going to order this product, and that's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to do exactly what she's doing. Because if I don't do this, I'm never going to have success. If I don't get a big following, no one's ever going to buy from me. No one's ever going to join the business. God, I need more followers. God, I'm so scared that if I don't have a big enough Instagram, I'm not going to make money. And then I go away and start making reels. All of that was based off fear. None of that was neutral. Also, there was no thoughts after that about anything extra. So when an idea comes and it's rooted in fear of, if I don't do this thing, I'm never ever going to make it. I'm never going to make money. I'm never going to sell product. I'm never going to, whatever it might be. That is ego. That's ego doing something in fear that it won't get something. Whereas with aligned action, there is no expectation. I'm doing the thing for the sake of doing the thing. I'm completely detached from the outcome. In fact, when I decided to go live, there was no rhyme or reason or logic. There was no strategy. There was no thought process before the idea. There was no, I need money. How can I bring more people into the business and make more sales? And what step can I do in order to do that? There was no logic before the aligned action came into my mind. It was just an idea. And I was very detached. I was just willing to do it for no rhyme or reason. That is intuition. It's very calm. It's very neutral. Ego is very panicky and very fearful. If you're coming from a space of lack, I need more money. How can I get more money? She's doing it this way. Let me do it that way. Do you see how that's kind of like flown starting from a lack perspective? And all that's going to produce is lack results. So this is why when we tune into ourselves, we can really start to hear our intuition. It's going to get louder and louder the more we listen. And it's going to get quieter and quieter the more you don't. And your human design can really help here. So again, I will do this on the bonus days, but you can use the app in the meantime. And holding on to the how. So how will it happen? We're very obsessed with the how. Will keep you stuck. The quicker you let go of the details, the faster it comes. This is what I mean. Like, the more we listen to our intuition, the more we take aligned action, the more we detach from the outcome, the faster the manifestation is going to come. We are just so fucking obsessed with the how. We are so obsessed with strategy. And strategy is only 20% of the manifestation. The 80% is mindset. But you will get the strategy when you do the mindset. You know, you might get a download to be like, oh, let's do a podcast. Okay, well, you know, you're more than welcome to research how to do the podcast. The aligned action was the podcast. Doesn't matter how you do it now. Like, you can research it. You can learn about how to get it in front of people. You can look at the best way to have the design cover. Of course you can. Because the strategy is only 20% of it. The majority of that idea was the podcast, which is the scary part and maybe the unusual part, that nobody else in your business has done it that way, right? So I just want to go back actually to slide number 1. Can I do that? Oh, this one. So I just want to recap this because I think this is the part that gets super confusing with the whole manifestation process. And this is why I wanted to just cut out all the crap and all the fluff and just show you this part. Decide what you want. List all the limiting beliefs. Neutralize the feelings that are coming up. Replace them with better beliefs. Embody the version of you that already has it. Release the how. It's not your job to know how. And take inspired action. That's it. That is the manifestation process in a nutshell. That's all you need to know, and just keep doing that. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Keep finding evidence of people doing this shit and that's going to help you with replacing the limiting beliefs. Listen to podcasts, listen to audiobooks, doing courses like this. Like, that's how you're going to replace those limiting beliefs with positive ones, because you're stacking up evidence, which is one of the things I said to you is how you can get rid of limiting beliefs, right? It's one of the tools you can use is evidence stacking. You're knocking out those table legs of the belief system. So find more and more people that are doing this. Surround yourself with people that are doing this. Let me know if you've got any questions, but this is the part that's going to change your life. You can do all that shit before, but if you're still following ego action, you're not going to get the results. You have to start listening to yourself and trusting in yourself enough to take that scary as fuck action, because it's not going to make any fucking sense to anybody else around you. And it doesn't have to. Just try it. Do the experiment. Try it. 30 days, 7 days, don't care. But just go all in, surrender, hands up, fine. You know, intuition, higher self, you're in charge. Let's do this. I hope that helps. As always, please send me any questions, and I'm super excited to see what you manifest. You got this.